Hi, welcome to Intro to Canine Nosework. My name is Sherry and I'll be an instructor. It's important that the dogs are crated when it's not their turn to work. This promotes a safe environment for all dogs. Some tips to help them be successful are covering the crate, using a white noise sound machine if they might be sensitive to noises. You can give them a chew or a lick mat or a snuffle mat in their crate until they get used to the routine, and I'm happy to answer additional questions at the end of class. Canine Nosework was developed from training programs for professional scent detection dogs and was adapted into the NACSWs, which stands for National Association of Canine Scent Works, Canine Nosework classes that are available for companion dogs now. It's a positive approach that builds on the dog's natural instincts. The Canine Nosework philosophy is to embrace the journey and enjoy every moment of learning with your dog. Canine Nosework instructors, CNWIs, embrace this philosophy and the methodology of teaching this activity to you and your dog. Our goals in this class, first and foremost, are to establish a sense of safety for all the dogs. They should be able to work without pressure of having dogs in their line of sight. Learning to trust your dog, following your dog's lead, encouraging them to work independently, encouraging them to self-reward. That's finding the primary reward, which most likely will be food, but we can adjust if there's dogs who prefer toys. Most activities we do with the dogs, we ask them to look to us, to look for guidance on how we want them to behave in certain situations, but Canine Nosework is different. Your dogs are going to teach you, and by observing each other, we're all going to learn from each other. Nosework will build your dog's confidence in themselves and their innate hunting and scenting abilities in different settings, and it will improve your skills as a handler. The ultimate goal is your dog will display a willingness and desire to search independently for the odor source, and you as the handler will learn to identify the moment that they find target odor. Canine Nosework is a great activity for all dogs, regardless of their size, breed, age, or even with some health and physical limitations. Providing safe and consistent environmental foundations are at the core of the Canine Nosework, both as an activity and as a sport. So we start the training with boxes. The boxes set the context for the search. The boxes define the search area, and over time they help expand and reset the search area. They conceal the rewards and eventually odor. They set the foundation for all stages of canine nosework, so we can evaluate your dog's progress, such as their motivation, their focus, their hunting ability, their independence, as well as handler skills. In today's session and in these introductory classes, my goal is to help you develop your handling of your dogs and develop your skills for observing your dogs. Specifically, we're going to be looking for changes of behavior when they find odor. So you might see things like their body will change, their head will snap, or their body position will change in relation to odor, or you might just notice their breathing change. We're going to start with a simple hide and seek, a primary reward in one or more boxes. There'll be empty boxes and some boxes with treats, which we call the hot boxes, and your dog will learn to seek and find the one with the reward. In the first search, I just am trying to get a gauge for what treats really get your dog excited or toy. And when your dog finds the hot box, it's really important that they self-reward without any intervention needed from you. We want your dog to continue to search through all the boxes until they find rewards. So think of the boxes as bushes, think of the treats as bunnies, so they're searching through the bushes to find the bunny. With repetition, your dog will become proficient at hunting for the source of the reward. Over time, we can do more complex searches. We add distance and work in various environments and add distractions. In Canine Nosework as a sport, the dogs search for odor in interior and exterior spaces, in various containers, and on vehicles. If you continue with this activity, we'll work in all of these settings. Our goal today is for your dogs to get at least 2 turns to search, but possibly 3. And again, we're working with the boxes. So before we start, some keywords to just help us work together. If I say hold, just stay in place. If I say reset, then go back to where we started. And if I say search, just follow your dog, ideally behind them and ideally at about a 45-degree angle, but adapting to your dog's lead. Now the class works with the boxes. We come back for next steps discussion. If you want to practice at home, use cardboard boxes primarily, different sizes and shapes, just like we had today. Remember, they serve as the foundation for your dog's nosework training for the life of their involvement in this sport. Practice in safe, quiet, and familiar environments, and if you have multiple dogs, just work them one at a time. You can either have your dog loose and the dog can be following you to get the hot box as you move it around, or you can put them in a crate or a different room and set up the hide and then have them come out to do the search. Options for continuing canine nose work: if you decide you love it like I do, you can continue it just for fun, doing classes. Many friendships have developed in canine nose work classes. Sniff through events are set up often like mock trials, but there's not the pressure of the trials. And then if you want to compete and go on to trialing, you would start with odor recognition title, and that just demonstrates your dog's recognition of all 3 target odors, which will be birch, anise, and clove. And that can occur after your dog has been successfully introduced to odor. But at this stage, continue to work your dog on primary to establish good habits, get a strong foundation for the game, and even work out possible insecurities that might be identified while training. If you realize your dog's wary of certain stimuli, a certain sight or a sound or situation, then you can continue working on that with primary, and you want to do that before you add the odor, and this way both you and your dog can gain confidence. So I hope you enjoyed the class. I enjoyed working with you all, and I look forward to seeing you next week.